Hi, my name's Hannah Jo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for my second tutorial. Doing this natural faced look today with a dark lip. I hope you enjoy, perfect for summer. If you want to see this look, please continue watching, like this video and subscribe to my channel. So I'm just going to take my makeup off and we'll get started on the look. Okay, so makeup's now off. I'm just going to put some moisturiser on. Moisturiser that I like to use at the moment is the Roche-Posay Hydreane. Just going to pop this all over my face. Now I normally wait about 5-10 minutes after I've applied my moisturiser just to let it settle in before we start doing the makeup. So now what I like to do is just spritz my face with a primer. Now the one I've been using recently is the Botanics Rosewater Toning Spritz. This one right here. So recently I've been using the Botanics Rosewater Toning Spritz. This one here. Spritz. Lovely. Just with a hand or a makeup palette. So after I've done that, I like to put a BB cream on. This is the L'Oreal Nude Magique in the light skin tone. This comes out white of the packaging, but when you rub it into your skin, it turns into a foundation colour. So this is got little particles in it that change colour on your face as you apply. So just like to dot it round and then just rub it in. I like the BB creams that have a bit of a shimmer to them, just kind of makes you look a bit more alive, a bit more glowy, so that's why I like that, and it adds a little bit more coverage, I feel. So I'm just going to grab my foundation and I'm going to be using the MaxFactor Face Finity, if you can see that there. A 3-in-1 foundation, so it says it's a primer, concealer and foundation all in one. We've already primed. I'm going to add some concealer, so this is just extra coverage. So this is in Warm Almond 45. So I'm just going to take some of this. Let's pop it just on the back of my hand, and into that I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of the L'Oreal True Match Highlight. This is in Icy Glow, so this is more for a lighter skin tone. They do have a gold glow as well. This is about $7.99 I believe. So it's just like a light pink tone. And when you rub it in, it's got a really nice shimmer to it. And I love to add a little bit of shimmer to my foundation just so it doesn't look too matte. So I'm just rubbing those two together. And I'm just going to dot on my face. I'm just going to blend this in, and you can see that it's not too heavy. I'm just using a damp beauty sponge. This is the Real Techniques beauty sponge, and it's damp, so it's bigger than it normally is. I often find with cheaper beauty sponges that they don't expand as much, and it's the expansion that you need, because you know that that sponge has absorbed all the water that it needs to, and so it's not going to soak up all your foundation in one fell swoop, and you don't want to waste all that product. That's all blended in. So now I'm just going to grab my highlighter, which I'm going to use, the Boots brand 17 Say 18 Hour Full Cover Flawless Finish concealer in Extra Fair, and I'm just going to pop like a half circle just under each eye. I'm just going to draw a line just here, just down either side of my nose, just round the edges of my nose, slightly down towards the edge of my lip. So it's like a boom, boom, boom. And I'm just going to put 3 lines in the centre, one down the middle of the nose, all the way down just like that. And then I'm just going to put a little bit just on my chin. So I'm just going to grab my beauty blender and I'm just going to slightly blend this in, not all the way, but just slightly, because I feel that that makes it a lot easier when it comes to blending in the dark contour as well. Okay, so there's still some slight edges that I'm just going to leave for a second, and I'm just going to take the Maybelline Master Contour. Now this is in the light, I don't know if you can see that one there. So it comes like this, so you've got a dark and a light side. So with the dark side, I'm just going to start where the top of my ear is. You just follow it down, and where your hairline is, just ever so slightly coming at an angle this way. But I actually find if I do a dark line just about there, you can already see from straight on that that is naturally where my cheekbone, the hollowed out bit, that's where it naturally would look the best. Now you don't want to bring it too far down, you just want it to be roughly where the end of your eyebrow is. And then I'm just going to do just a little bit around the edges of my hairline. This is a really nice one because it's really cool toned, so I'm just going to put a little bit under the jawline just there, just like that, yeah? And I'm just going to do the sides of my nose. Now I like to keep quite narrow in the nose, so I'm just going to try and do this looking in the mirror behind. Just like that, yeah? And then I'm just going to do a tiny little bit underneath my lip. Now the reason I do this, I always have these little pouches just underneath my lip, and I just don't like them as much, so the darkness kind of helps push that back. And then we're just going to use the light colour. Now I know we've just gone over with the concealer, but I'm just going to put just a little bit of this light colour just in the highlight areas, because this I don't feel is very nice under the eyes, so I prefer to use a concealer under the eye and then this on the cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, and just here, and ever so slightly on the forehead. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so even though it may look like a lot, this is actually quite light, and when you blend it out, it blends out really, really nicely. So I'm just going to go in. I've got a different beauty sponge here. This is just one from Superdrug. I think it's just a couple of pounds, and I like to use this one just for the dark contour. So I'm just going to buff this dark contour out. And I'm just going to go back in with my Real Techniques sponge and blend out the light. So you can just like to blend slightly back into the contour, just so it's not so strong coming down, just so it's more of a natural line. So that's our base down. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of powder and I'm just going to dust that over the face. So I'm using the Vichy Derma blend. This is just a translucent powder. I know a lot of people get some kickback from this powder in photographs. I've never really had that trouble with this powder, but maybe I think if you applied quite a thick layer, maybe with baking, then maybe you would, because it is quite a thick powder. Because I want it to be more of a natural look, I'm just going to dust a little bit of this powder, mainly over the T-zone, and just around the eye. This is just a duo fibre face brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. I use this one for powder, for bronzer sometimes. It's just like quite a nice light finish. Just going to brush the rest of what's on the brush just over the face. Okay, I'm just going to go in now with a bronzer and contour the rest of my face. Now, I find it quite difficult to find a bronzer that isn't too orange. This one that I found I was really pleased with. This is from Makeup Academy and it's the Bronzed Perfection. I don't know if you can see that packaging without it reflecting. As you can see, it's well loved. This is in Sunset Tan Matte. For this one you can use all over your face or your body. And I'm just going to take the Real Techniques buffing brush. Now this has got quite a dense set of hairs there, so I'm just going to swish that in, and just where that line was I'm just going to follow it and then bring it up into the hairline, back down, and then down onto the jawline. And I like to bring that contour up just like that, because by this point there's not a lot of product on the brush, so I just like to blend in whatever's there slightly up at an angle and just keep working it in. Now for the edges of the nose I like to use a smaller brush, so I'm just using the Duo Fibre. This is an eye brush by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to pop that in and just down the edges of my nose, along the tip, well just under the tip actually, not right on the tip, along the sides, just coming down from the eyebrow. Just make sure that's all there. So as you can see, it's quite natural, it's not a harsh line. So what I like to do also at the end, just to buff it in a little bit more, is to just take a little buffing brush. Now this is just the Pantone buffing brush. It's actually a blusher brush, but there's no blusher on here, it's completely clean. So what I like to do is just work round and just blend out any edges. Okay, so once that's done, I like to do my highlighter next and then blusher, just because I feel like the blusher then kind of blends in and doesn't make the highlighter stand out too much on the face. The blusher I'm going to use is from the Makeup Revolution palette, the Ultra Blush palette in Sugar and Spice. Looks like this. Just like that. The number 7 blusher brush. This one here, which has got a lot of pink on it. I'm just going to take these two kind of nude peach colours, just because I want it to keep quite natural. I'm just going to blend those two together, tap off the excess, and keep it quite high, not coming below that contour line, just like that. Okay, a large bronzer brush, this is what I like to do, is I've got the Makeup Revolution Bronze Palette, this one here. There's loads of nice different colours in there. I'm just going to use these bottom three here, blend back and forth, tap off the excess, and just bronze my face. You're not adding a lot of product at a time, but the overall effect is just a really nice, soft focus, contoured look without it looking too harsh, too shimmery, too glittery, because as you can see, it's not that shimmery. It's just slight shimmer from that shimmer that we put in the foundation, because none of the bronzers that I've used so far have shimmer in them. So the glow that we're getting is from the foundation. Then we're going to go in with the highlighter. These highlighters are absolutely amazing. This is the Makeup Revolution Highlight Palette. And in here you have a gold, a peach and a purple. I'm just going to swatch these for you because they're so nice. The gold, you can see that one there. The peach and the purple. And they're so shimmery and so pretty. And they come off really nice on the skin. They don't look too chalky or too bitty or too glittery. So I just like to mix the gold and the peach together. The gold is clearly my favourite. Tap off the excess and just keep the highlight just on the top of the cheekbone, slightly round and then up. So just here, up, there we are. And again on this side, on the cheekbone, slightly up, and then on the forehead. Never put it here in the middle, you don't want it to look too shiny, you just want, when you move, that slight glow just on the points of your face that catch the light naturally. So I'm just gonna go over just one more time. Sometimes I feel like there can never be too much highlight on a cheek. Not if it's the right highlight. And then I'm just going to take those two colours again and I'm just going to pop this on the Cupid's bow. Just like that there. Just down the centre of my nose, just a little bit. And then on the tip of the nose. So as you can see, just adds a really nice shimmer to the face. So I'm just going to quickly do my brows quite naturally. I'm just going to use Revlon's Brow Fantasy in dark brown. It's a pencil and a gel, and I'm just going to use the gel from that one. For my eyes, I'm Techniques brush in 200, and going back to the bronze palette that we were using earlier. Now I love to use bronzers on my eyes, so in this one there's a really nice shade here which is kind of like a slight shimmer, more of a like a browny kind of pinky undertone bronzer. So I'm just going to pop that all over the eyelid. I'm going to take my Real Techniques brush in 201, which is more of a stubby top. This one just here is quite a brown bronzer, and I'm just going to pop this in the crease, just on the outside corner. just like that. Just slightly on the lower lash line. And then I'm just going to pop some mascara on. I'm not going to pop any eyeliner on today, any liquid eyeliner on. I want to keep the eyes simple because I'm going to go for a darker lip. Just going to use the No. 7 Midnight Lash in black. That. And then, as always, going to put a second mascara on, and I'm just using the Rhode Isle Glamo Lash Mascara XXL Extreme Black Extreme Black Lash Maximizer for amplified volume. That's that one just there. The lip liner I'm going to use is by Makeup Academy, and this is in Caramel Nougat, and this one I've nearly finished, but I do have another one as spare. These lip liners are so good. I literally have every single colour. They're only £1 from Superdrug. Absolutely amazing. Can't go wrong with £1. So I'm just going to line my lips. So that's about right. It's bronze like this. I like to keep them to browns, neutrals, nudes, pinks. So this lipstick here is L'Oreal's Colour Rich Oud Obsession in 703. It looks lighter on camera than it does in real life, but it's a very dark colour, and I'm just going to use a lip brush with this lipstick because it's very dark and I just want to control where I'm putting it. So this is the Real Techniques lip brush. The lid for this has broken, so I'm lidless. And because I've already got my edges down, I'm just going to go back in with the lipstick and just kind of fill in the middles. So yeah, that is the finished look. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear your comments, your guys' feedback on what you want to see, what you want me to do. I love doing these already, and I'm only on my second video, so I can't wait to do more.